So hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. What I'm looking here turning over the Amazon base with a mirror over to show the models is a brand new very interesting item I took from Alpha Model, and it's a display box for the models, made in 1/24 scale, and is a structure made in plastic, I think polyfoam, 3 mm thick, cutted extremely precise, and resembling the typical garage, when you can show up your models with a kind of basic advertisement on the wall. Of course, you can increase in your own taste, but it's really photorealistic, so it's really well done for this type of purpose. Of course, you are looking at in my mess environment of the working place that I have it here in Italy. But if you, of course, place this type of display model with whatever model you want to show up, I'm showing up this ENG Mercedes from Mario Farnbacher. It was the car that I made with Tamiya model using a Slot Fabric decals, of course, and it was one of the nicest model I made about this car. The Mercedes is stunning, but if you see that closely, for example, in a closer look, it can absolutely look like a real car in a real garage, and that's a very pretty cool idea that I think they had. I also took another version of it to have another type of garage up there, even there with photorealistic 3D image for the fire extinguisher, for the camera on the wall, and of course you can add your own real stuff, the stuff you can make it for real. You can add as many details as you want, and they travel, you see, so thin envelope, so it's very easy also to post. And in my opinion is a very cool idea, because I always had this problem. Back in time I made a kind of ambient with a typical Italian house, but it was very nice. I made it in a much bigger dimension using I think it was plywood at the time what I did, and it was very cool. But honestly, to add all the details that you keep on making when you do that kind of diorama became time consuming, and honestly became very big, and it's not so easy to handle. This is much more easy, much more simple. They cost nothing. I think it's in the area of $15, something like that, and the final effect is stunning. If you simply place the model over there, of course the model is not fixed, you can place there whatever you want. Let me try if I can stop my stuff here. Don't find it. But yeah, the overall look is absolutely great in my opinion. Don't consider also the type of light that I'm using here, that is just a modeling very sharp light, so you have to study a little better the background for it. Probably just a white background can be okay, and to make proper picture with the proper lights with it will be extremely easy to do something very nice and very cool. As you can see, it's photorealistic, all the details around, and also the assembly is quite pretty simple. It's just 3 pieces, and you can also assemble and disassemble it to place it in another location, like I probably will do for this stuff. I think at least one of them. But it's very nice. In my opinion, it's a great idea that they had, and I hope that they just will probably make in the future a little bigger surface, to show up a little bigger items like Formula 1 cars in 120, or maybe trucks. The basic idea is extremely cool. Just make it maybe a little bigger. Other people made it in the past also. As you can see, I think it was a scale production, made it with the garage in the background and some picture over there. That was extremely realistic. So if you place it there and you simply take picture of that, that will become a great idea for to complete your model. So it's absolutely worth it. I cannot stop looking at that. I just want to place it over and over other subjects there to take a proper picture, in a better light. Now it's nighttime here, so I wanted to do it in the daytime with the real natural light. But that's it, and I think is absolutely worth it. The nothing that they ask for it, and it's a very simple idea for our display. That's it, nothing more to say. Simply, I think I made 3 or 4 design about this stuff. I took it 2, and I wanted to do, because I wanted to use like a kind of background for when I will do the assembly of one of my GT3R Rexy model. So basically the car is in the same shape of this AMG, So that's why I wanted to take a look of that with a quite big modern car over that. Of course, if you go for historical vehicles, maybe owned by collectors and so on, they are usually much smaller vehicle. You know, I'm thinking of the Dino or at some Ferrari of the 60s and so on. So they fit perfectly in this type of background here. As I say, try to think about something like that with some special filters. That will be extremely cool idea. I love it. I love it, really, really. Go for it. Thanks for watching, guys.